This is a poem inspired by Paul Juhas. He recently posted a video of him reading The Last Glove I Will Ever Buy. And I wrote this poem after hearing that and thought I'd share it as Paul has done. This is called Reading the Old Man and the Sea at 50. I finished reading The Old Man and the Sea with my students, a book I last read over 20 years ago. I didn't cry at the end when I read it at 29. I didn't cry at the end when I first read it at 16, but I cried this time. Perhaps because at 50 I understand Santiago's suffering so much more viscerally. I understand now how the body breaks down, the knees, the shoulders, the heels of the feet. In the book, Santiago reads about his hero DiMaggio, reads about heel spurs but can't understand what that means, at least the words. He asks, what is a spur of the heel? But even though the medical knowledge escapes him, he understands deep, profound, crippling pain and the need to work through it anyway. I cry at the end when Manolin finds the old man asleep in his hut, broken by his ordeal. The boy who has fished with Santiago since he was 5, whose parents forbid him to fish with him now because Santiago is unlucky. I cry with Manolin, and like him, I don't know why I cry. Something to do with understanding how much the old man has suffered. Something to do with how much we love this old man, who, despite everything that the sea can throw at him, endures. Santiago said to himself while out at sea with a half-eaten marlin 18 feet long strapped to his boat, sharks circling to take what's left. He said, a man can be destroyed, but not defeated. I never understood those words when I was younger. I ask my students what they mean, and they stare at me waiting for the answer. I tell them about Cool Hand Luke fighting Dragline, a man a head taller than him, 100 pounds heavier, beating Luke to a pulp. How Luke gets knocked down again and again, but always, every time, he gets back up till finally Dragline gives up, walks away. Everyone walks away. And Luke just stands there swaying, turning in circles, moving so he won't fall down. I say, Luke was destroyed by Dragline, but he was not defeated. He lost the fight, but he won the love of every man who watched him refuse to stay down. I say, Santiago refused to stay down. He lost almost everything, bringing in the skeletal remains of a marlin bigger than anyone had ever seen, but he did not lose himself. He will sleep, he will heal, and in a few days he will go fishing again, this time with Manolin, who is almost a man now, and will no longer listen to his parents who care only about luck. He will follow this man, and he will learn how to be a great fisherman, and he will learn how to always get up again, no matter what, until you're dead. I read this now at 50, with more of my life behind me than in front, and I know only one thing. I will always get back up again, until I can no longer rise, because I am dead.